Hey guys, it's Dr. K here. Several of you requested a video on blood typing from our lab, so I thought I'd go ahead and walk you through. I won't do the whole chart here, but I'll kind of show you how to get started and give you the basics. So remember, blood typing is all about antigens and antibodies, okay? Now antigens are what I was referring to as your name tag, okay? All your cells will wear antigens, and it's basically a little name tag that they wear on the surface that tells you that you're you, okay? Because you really don't want things in your body that aren't you. And so your defense mechanism to that is to create something called antibodies, okay? And these are things that circulate around in your blood. Remember, they look like this, little things that circulate around your blood. And they basically will attach to antigens that aren't you. And they'll set you up for destruction or agglutination, which is the clumping that's going to happen. Okay? And so you only make antibodies to antigens you don't have. If you made antibodies to your own name tags, think what would happen. You would essentially bind and destroy your own cells. So how does it work? So let's draw our 8 blood types. Now remember, the antigens that you have are going to be A, B, or the RHD antigen, okay? So we'll do this A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive, AB negative, O positive, O negative. So the A positive and the A negative, they obviously wear A name tags, right? A antigens. In addition, this A positive will also wear the RH or the D antigen, okay? So I'm going to put positives on his as well. And now remember, sorry, that's my cat. So remember, they only make antibodies to things that you don't have. So hang on. Oh, cat. Okay, so you only make antibodies to things you don't have. So for example, if you were an A positive, well, the name tags you wear are A and the positive, right? So what you don't have is B. So you'll make little B antibodies floating around in your blood, okay? Now A negative, what name tags do you not wear? Well, you don't wear B, obviously, but you also don't wear the RH or the D antigen. So you've got a B and you have the RH antibodies floating around, okay? What about B positive? Okay, well, they wear B. We'll make them look a little bit different. Make them look like little ears, okay? So they wear B and they also wear the positive, okay? Versus B negative only is gonna wear B, right? Okay, so what antibodies do they have floating around? The only thing this guy doesn't have is A. Okay, so we'll make a little A. I'm sorry. A's floating around. Okay, and then B negative, the only thing they don't have A, but they also don't have the RH again, so they'll have this floating around. Okay, moving on, AB, they have the A and the B, but they also have the positive. So they've got all 3, which means what do they not have? Well, turns out they don't not have anything, right? So they don't have any antibodies floating around, okay? Versus AB negative has the A, okay? And they've got the B, but they don't have the positive RH, right? So they'll have that floating around, circulating in the bloodstream. Okay, and then the last one is O. There is no O antigen. O just means you have an absence of antigens, so it means there's no A, there's no B name tags, but they will wear a positive name tag. Okay, so they'll wear this off there. Okay, now what will they have floating around? Well, what don't they have? What don't they wear? Well, they don't wear A, and they don't wear B. So this floats around, okay? Last one is O negative. No O or no A name tag, no B name tag. Also, there's no positive name tag. So these guys, what don't they have? everything. So they have A antibodies, they have B antibodies, and they have the Rh antibody. Okay, so that's all your blood types. Those are the 8 blood types. And then what you're doing when you're trying to do blood typing is you're matching the donors to recipients. This is a really important point, we're always worried about the donors' antigens, which is their name tags, and the recipients' antibodies. And the reason is, it's a little complicated, but when we give somebody blood, we'll give them mostly red blood cells, but we won't give them a bunch of circulating antibodies to do enough damage, okay? And remember, when antibodies bind to antigens, they trigger destruction, okay? So you don't want that to happen, okay? So let's do the first one, for example, AB positive to AB positive. Can AB positive donate to AB positive? Well, it's a yes. You can always donate to yourself, right? You can always accept blood from yourself. That's kind of the way I look at it. So if you look at this chart, you'll see it go diagonally down. A positive, A negative, B positive, B positive. These are all the exact matches. So you can put a check mark all the way down the middle because you can always give yourself the same thing that you have had, right? That wouldn't affect you at all. Where it gets a little tricky is looking at things that aren't you, okay? So for example, if you look over here, the recipient is going to be AB positive and the donor, remember the donor's over here, the donor's going to be AB negative. So let's look at those guys. So I wrote donors antigens, AB negative. Where's AB negative? He's over here. Donors antigens. So he wears the A and the B antigens, okay? A and B antigens, that's it. Okay, then the recipient is AB, oh, there it is, AB positive, okay? So let's look at what floating antibodies AB positive has around. Do you see any floating antibodies around? Well, the answer is no. See, everybody else has floating antibodies, but this person doesn't, the recipient for AB positive. So if there's no antibodies, nothing can attack these antigens. And if you won't attack, then you're good to go, okay? You'll notice AB positive, right, doesn't have any antibodies. It never will, okay? And so what that means is it'll never attack anything you put in it, ever. It won't attack any of these, okay? That's why you may have heard that AB positive is the universal recipient, okay? So there it is. So now you come down the next line, okay? So we'll start to move into things that are a little bit trickier, okay? So the recipient, AB negative, it's this one. And then we have the donors, AB positive. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The recipient's antibodies have positive antibodies here, okay? Positive. And then the donor is AB negative, okay? I'm sorry, the donor is AB positive. Look at the antigens. Can this positive attack anything over here? Turns out it's wearing a positive name tag, right? So this antibody will bind to this name tag. What does that mean? Remember, it's destruction. So that is not a good blood transfusion, okay? We already did this one, so let's move down again. The recipient is still AB negative. This is still our recipient, but who's our new donor? Our new donor is A positive. Okay, so this person, donor's antigens. Okay, so look, A positive, where's the A name tag and the positive name tag? And the recipient's antibodies, positive. Can this positive antibody, what will it do when it sees this positive name tag? Remember, it's gonna attack it, and once again, it's not a good match, okay? Moving down, you just keep doing the same thing. The recipient's still AB negative, so we're still looking at these antibodies. We're worried about this positive, A negative. Here's your A negative. What name tag or what antigen does A negative wear? The only thing it wears is the A. Will this positive attack this A? No, it won't, because it's not a match, right? So you don't have a problem there. So that one is good to go. So you'll notice the positive that you have floating out here, this positive antibody, it'll only attack things that are positive, right? So what you can do is you can say, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. But these ones will, right? Because these ones don't have positive antigens, B negative and O negative. All right. So next one, we'll start in the next row. And this is probably the last row we'll do together, and then hopefully you can fill out the rest on your own. Okay, so the new recipient is A positive, so this one up here. And then the new donor is going to be AB positive. So this one, so we're looking at this guy and this guy, okay? So recipient antibodies, okay, this is our recipient, A positive. So what antibodies does he have? He only has, remember this was the B, he only has the B antibody, okay? Will the B antibody attack the AB positive cell? Yes, because it has a B. This is a B antigen on here. Okay, so that won't work. It's not a match, so you put an X there, okay? Again, will A positive, will this floating antibody out here, will it attack AB negative? Yes, because do you see this as a B name tag? That's not good. When antibodies attack name tags, it's a no, okay? Now, we already did this one, A positive, you can accept yourself. Okay, what about A negative? Okay, so we're looking for anything that has a, remember this is our antibody, we're looking for anything that wears a B name tag. Does A negative wear a B name tag? No, turns out it doesn't, so it's great, okay? Who does wear a B name tag? Because that's the only thing we're concerned about. These two, right? It's not gonna work, we're gonna attack those. Okay, and then what about O positive? Well, he doesn't wear a B name tag, right? So you're good. Remember O, you don't wear, the only thing you wear if you're positive is this guy. And we're not gonna attack that because that's not a B, okay? And so, and you'll start to see as you go along here, what do you notice? These are all positives. O negative, look at O negative. It doesn't have any name tags, right? And for donors, we're always worried about your name tags, your antigens. You notice it doesn't have any, so it's never a problem, right? So I'm gonna leave you here. As you continue on, all you do is look at the recipient, look at its antibodies. If an antibody finds a matching antigen on a donor, it's no good. It's not gonna work. If an antibody doesn't find the matching antigen on a donor, you're good to go. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. You can make it through this chart on your own. If you get lost, maybe just start it over, draw your blood types out, draw your cells out, and remember who's an antigen. Antigens are on the cell, they're your name tags. Antibodies are what float around in your body, and remember, you only make antibodies to the name tags you don't wear because you're looking for things that aren't you.